evening, everyone. Welcome along. Monday night, 8 p.m. The online Darts Live Land returns. Myself, Phil Bars, and Jack Garwood. You'll see there was only two of us. We do have a third on the way. But first of all, Dan is watching at home. Dan's lovely wife hasn't been very well, but she is on the mend. Giving our best to the Simpsons, as always, Gob.
Correct. Hope all is good. I know how you feel.
Yeah. But yeah, it's all good, mate. How are you?
Tired? I've got cramp in the back of my calf and it's been building up for the last couple of hours. It's going to go at some point in this show. Convinced of it. So at some point I'm just going to jump up and shout the F word very, very loudly. So let's hope it's past 9 o'clock.
So yeah, if God falls over, you know why. But yes, we do have a third joining us somewhere between now and 8:30. Leave it as a little bit of a surprise. Let's jump into the chat room. How are we doing, Dale? Hope you are good. Connor, Kieran, James, Shelty is in. We'll talk about Ando shortly. Ricky, Daniel, Dartslad, how are we doing? Nels is in with the 180 shout. I guess that's for you, Gob. Cameron, how are we doing? Warren, David is in from New Zealand. Chris says, evening, Phil and Prime Boy. You need to get them back up in the background when you move into your new place.
I'll batter you, Christopher.
How are we doing, Kieran? Look, it's been a busy time as always. No rest in darts, that is for sure. Got back refereeing today as well. A little bit of Needle up on the stage today as well for you.
Yeah, I thought it was me. I can't lie. Apparently not though, so I'm all good.
Yeah, it was an interesting one, wasn't there?
Yeah.
But yeah, look, plenty to be talking about, plenty of dramas in the world of darts as always. First of all, let's go to the women's roundup. Women's series returned this weekend. Did you get to see much of it, or were you just following me talking shit about it?
I tuned in to watch you on 3 different occasions over the weekend, and every single time you were looking down at your phone, so I swiftly turned off again. Well, that's far more interesting than listening to you chat shit. I can't lie. I'll be honest. No, I was busy. I was reliving my youth working behind a bar.
It was an interesting weekend for women's darts. I wouldn't say the best standard overall. I wouldn't say it was the best weekend that we'd had across the board. There was a few new names in and around that was nice to see. It was interesting.
It's just an interesting time for the women's game now, isn't it? Like, we've had back-to-back weekends now where Fallon Sherrock has absolutely dominated. She then went up to Middlesbrough, won the first event. She's not really challenged for an event since. We have a vast number of players now that are capable of winning titles. We've seen them perhaps a little bit more diversified than we have in previous editions of the women's series. If you were to go back and compare players that were on the fringe or players that we thought might be able to make the jump to go and compete with your top players, your Lisa, your Fallon, your Bo, etc., those players have now changed again. We're seeing new names come in. We're seeing different players really push on and take that mantle. We're seeing some established names fall by the way or not live up to the level that perhaps we've seen from them in the past. I don't want to highlight anybody in particular, but there's a distinct lack of Dieter Hedman in a quarterfinal up until that final event this weekend. That would have been unheard of in year 1 and 2 of the women's series. So it's an intriguing time for the sport as a whole. It clearly has some challenges that we've discussed on this show in the past as well. But what you can say is the overall level of the game is going up. When we first started covering the women's series 2.5, 3 years ago now.
Yeah, we did the very first ones, didn't we? We've done it since day one.
Yeah, I'm trying to think how long ago it was. There was a few players that would get above 85.
Yeah.
Now you look down that last 16s, your last 32s, the overall level has just risen, and that's what this needed.
Oh, yeah, I agree. The floor has come up. And Chris has put it in the chat room, and we know this is true, speaking to people. we're not going to talk about the individual issues of this. We've done that enough. But this was obviously said to the players at the weekend, and I fully agree with it, because you're signing up to the rules of the competition, and all the players that are at that event are allowed to play. So if you choose for whatever reason to not play a game, and this is not just in the women's series, this happens in the men's game as well. We've seen players forfeit, walk away, not complete a fixture or whatever, that you deserve to be punished because you have signed up to the rules of that competition as they stand.
The issue I've got is that clearly a large percentage of the field feel like their opinions and voices aren't being heard. And that is the only way that they can physically make some sort of stand. Alternatively, if anybody is listening, what you can do is tell them you're injured, still withdraw, and then make a stand later on. And they can't fine you for that one.
Just they can ask for evidence of the injury, though.
No, they can't. I've got an elbow injury. No, not.
They can ask for medical evidence of it. They have for the men before.
If you get injured halfway through a tournament and say you have to withdraw because you can no longer throw, and then it miraculously recovers 3 hours later to play in the next event, and you feel like, oh, I'll give it a go, there's nothing they can do about it.
You'll get fined. You know that as well as I will.
There's nothing they can do about it. Then you've got grounds to go appeal against the DRA because they're full of nonsense.
Name me one player that's ever won an appeal against the DRA to date.
I will. I will break the mold.
Well, currently, name me one player. By the way, I'm not saying I agree with this. What's that?
Gerwyn Price.
Did he still get fined?
Yes.
Was he still found guilty of the offence?
Irrelevant. He won an appeal. That was your question, was it not?
He's still guilty. And the issue itself is another thing. But at the moment, every player in that field is deemed to abide by the rules set of the competition. Whether you agree with those rules is another thing. So by the rules there, you're signing up to it.
You wait till you get us started on the other rules before you start calling them North Korea, Chris.
I agree with what Chris is saying. It is that Barry's always said, and I know you hate this, but if you don't, his exact words are, if you don't like what we do, go and play on the other tour. He said that from day one.
I think a few too many people have been listening to that as well, but moving on.
But it is what it is. Unfortunately, it's their rules. You either like it or you don't. In terms of the women's game, Chris, if all of a sudden they don't turn up, PDC will just scrap the women's series. It'd be no skin off their nose.
I guess that is the problem, though, isn't it? It's like you tell them that they can't withdraw to make an appeal, to make a point, because they'll get fined and they're abiding by the rules. So you tell them, because they've agreed to play in a tournament, that the only way to then basically go against it or make a stand is to just not enter in the first place.
Yeah.
Which female dart has been waiting for something like this for the best part of 3 decades. To then throw it away because they feel like the organisation that's providing it isn't listening to them.
But go through the correct channels. That's what the PDPA is there for and things like that. Look, I'm not saying that they do any good, but I'm just saying go through the correct channels and doing it.
I'm not even going to mention that other organisation anymore because they are fucking worthless.
I don't disagree. You've got an organisation that's got about £1 million of the players' money on the balance sheet of Company's House. Do something for the players. I'm completely with you on that. But it's there. As in snooker, what you were talking about, everyone heard that leaked conversation. And basically Barry said, if you don't like it, challenge me in court. And they have done that. Same for darts. If you don't like it, do it the right way and challenge it in the courts.
Someone get on what's the Facebook page called nowadays? Razzle Dazzle Darts. Let's start a crowdfunding in Razzle Dazzle Darts.
Is the thing. So that's the way I look at it. It's like just challenge it properly. Or just go and play in the WDF.
Or the ADC. No, because they've all got the same rules.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Apart from England darts.
Allegedly. Yet to be confirmed. Allegedly.
What? Okay. What if you were running a book? What odds were you giving me that comes in then?
Oh, massively odds on favourite, 100%, because I know who's involved. But allegedly. Allegedly is let's be clear. Same way that allegedly we might talk about something else I've just messaged you about when we get onto a chance later on.
Yeah.
Yeah, allegedly. Our sources say that's a good one.
Bollocks, it's going to happen. We know it is. Evening, Auntie. Hope you are good, mate, in Texas. Don't worry, we will be coming on to that moment. It was almost the dream final, but the outcome was still pretty good.
Thank you, Ross Smith, for saving our channel. Is all I'm going to say. Because if Phil Bars had got Gary Anderson versus Michael Van Gerwen in a European Tour final on the same day as El Clasico itself, you would have seen some sights you folks at home don't want to see.
It was almost the dream final. Asp injury's fine. He'll be in the Premier League this week. Just took some time off this weekend and also next weekend. I think you'll find he won't be in Graz either.
Doesn't need to be in any more this year, does he? He's earned his place in European Championships. Job done.
Well, he told us in the press conference this week that him and Michael Smith are going on holiday. So him and Smithy are pulling out.
Together?
Yeah, families are all going.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah, Aspinall told the world in the press conference that they were going on holiday. So.
Oh, Aspinall.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you meant Gary then. I was like, whoa. Where's that go? Yeah, that's what I thought. I was like, whoa.
No, I said Aspinall and Smith.
Oh, I thought you said Gary. I was like, ooh.
You've done a me there.
Yeah. Just tag Gary and Rachel along.
Why not? But back to the actual women's series. Noah Lynn beat Bow in the final of the first event of the weekend. Rhiannon O'Sullivan and Lisa Ashton getting to a semi-final. Lisa played really well in event one, but again, the range in Lisa's game right now is too big. The highs are high. We saw a 96 to beat Fallon, but then we see a 77, 78 as well. The range in Lisa's game,
isn't it? In that one, let's be honest, she still is 6 months on from quite significant surgery in her throwing arm.
I'm not saying it's not, but I'm just saying the range is big in her game still at the moment.
But I think it's bigger than it has been, or is it? I guess is the issue here, because in the past she was getting away with those sort of games. As I said, that overall level has come up. There are more players now that are capable of averaging 75 plus, 80, 85 if you need it to really go and compete and push you all the way. And it also seems to be that nobody's frightened of anybody anymore, and that's happened relatively quickly. You think how long it took for people to start, for Van Gerwen to lose that fear factor, or for people to not be worried about, I don't know, Humphreys at the minute, or Phil Taylor in his prime, or anything like that. Lisa Ashton had that status in the women's game for the best part of 2 and a bit years at the start of this women's series. Before Bo Greaves rocked up last year, Lisa Ashton was, I'm playing Lisa. She's won 60% of these tournaments. She'll blow me away. She was getting away with those mid-70s in the early rounds. That doesn't wash anymore. You've got to bring your A game constantly. And actually, let's not forget that Lisa isn't as young as a Fallon or a Bo or a Noah Lynn. We're playing 4 events a day. And like I said, she is less than 6 months removed from quite significant surgery on her throwing arm. We're going to get those dips from her. I think the key for Lisa Ashton nowadays is, can she produce the key moments? Can she produce those 180s when she's up against it that we see Bo do often? We look at Bo and look at Bo's averages, and then you look at, similar to Littler, really, trebleless visits, but actually she recovers with a big visit, a 180, a 140 at the key moments. Can Lisa start producing those key moments when she needs it instead of producing her A game all the time? And can she get herself into these TV events? Can she do it consistently enough to put herself in a women's match play and perhaps go on and win it? Because you've got to be good for 3 games there. Is dominating the order of merit, going in as number 1 and getting into the World Championships a viable aim for Lisa? Possibly not. Is the fact there's 3 spots at the World Championship an option for Lisa nowadays? Yeah, have a crack at it.
Oh, yeah, 100%. Event number 2, was number 6, was won by Bo. Backed up her final, beating Lisa Ashton in the final. Name in the semi-final that we've seen doing bits this year. I've known of her for a while, but Gemma Hayter getting to a semi-final, posted some good numbers, beat Fallon in the quarters with a 97, played some solid stuff.
Again, it's a name that's not come out of nowhere because, like you said, she's been around a while. People have known of Gemma, like yourself, but to see her producing this on the women's series as a fresh face this year is really interesting to see.
Yeah, 100%. So that was the 2 events on the Saturday. Moving on to the Sunday, if my screen will stay still, there we go. Event number 7. Bo picked up her second title of the weekend, beating Fallon Sherrick in the final, averaging best part of 99. Robin Byrne, Mikuru Suzuki making quarterfinals. Rose Moore had a good run to the quarterfinals and Rain wins Stanley. I'm not going to try and butcher names, but a few more Dutch flags in and around that. Some younger Dutch faces as well, which is good to see that the Dutch conveyor belt that we've seen in the men's game is translating into the men's. Sorry, the ladies.
And the fact there's a couple of national spots available right now. Certainly go and get your practice in at the women's series.
Yeah, 100%.
We can't move on from this one without talking about it, though. Bo Greaves won this event without dropping a single leg.
I was going to do it at the end, but yeah, then we can do it now if you want. I was going to do it at the end as well.
Outstanding. Absolutely outstanding. Like, do you know how difficult and how switched on you have to be to run through a car like that before? We were talking about earlier on, and I don't think it's ever been done at Pro Tour level. I don't think it's ever been done at Challenge Tour level. At best, you might have seen it at Dev Tour level. But to run through a field of that quality against opponents that include Lisa Ashton, Robin Byrne, and Fallon Sherrick, all of who have won events before, is fucking impressive. Very impressive for a player that actually, up until this weekend, and there may still be there a little bit. You've seen her action a little bit more than I have. There have been doubts over her performances. The last 2 weekends before this, Fallon Sherrick has pretty much mopped up. Bo Greaves has been beaten in the head-to-heads. She's barely picked up an event. There's been concerns about her withdrawing from various events elsewhere. But actually, she's rocked up. She's put in some very, very good performances. And given what she's about to do this week as well, this is the sort of weekend she needed.
I was going to do it at the end, but we can do it now. Yeah, look, this was outstanding from Bo, and there were moments of absolute magic from her, as we expect. The ton averages there, the high 90 averages were there. But then also, like you said there, having watched her on the stream a lot this weekend, I don't like the change to the action. And again, like we spoke about Lisa, the range this week in Bo's game was bigger than I've seen it. We had the eye-catching, brilliant ton toppers, but we also had the low 70s. I think that's the biggest I've seen Bo's range, arguably in the last 4 years.
Yeah. But again, that proves a couple of things, doesn't it? One, it proves that she's actually human.
Yeah, no, I agree. But
two, that pressure when people are then coming back at you makes you perhaps play and approach differently. The weekends of late haven't gone as well for her. And look, it is quite well documented that Bo has had various issues with her throwing action. That's why she didn't play Women's Series right at the start. That's why it's from the Greaves camp, it's all about Bo enjoying her darts, having fun and being comfortable. And anything else that comes with that is a bonus to them. she's been in that position for the last couple of years, but then she finds herself at the Ali Pali. Then she finds herself as the women's match play champion, the world champion, and all of that. And actually, that can be a little bit too much for some people.
Oh, yeah, no, I agree. Look, there is pressure on her shoulders. There's no doubt of that. But from a technical point of view, look, you and I look at throws a lot, whether that's the women's game, the Pro Tour, the WDF, the Modus, we talk about actions as well. I'm not sure the change that I saw this weekend in the action, long term, is a good thing. It may only be a short term thing to overcome some issues, but it was the slowest I've ever seen her throw, and it almost turned into a lob at times instead of a throw where prime bow, the throw is Rolls Royce. And when she won the first Lakeside title, it was, you knew what you were getting. It was up, there was one rock, two rock, that was her trigger moment, and it went.
Yeah.
Where over this weekend, it was very slow and quite deliberate, where it was coming back slow. At times it was one action, and then at other times there was a prolonged pause at the back of the backswing that I'm never keen of in anyone's throw. We've spoken about it in the men's game quite a lot, and we've seen Mensur Sulovic doing it quite a lot and things like that. So it'll be interesting to see her at Modus this week to see what the action's like then. But I wasn't a fan of the change if it's a long-term thing. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, look, I'll get to see it more this week. I've seen a couple of clips on Twitter, but that is about the sum of what I've actually seen physically this weekend in terms of performances. And like I said, the elongated pause, and it does become a bit more loopy, the throw. It's a bit more of a push from the back. It feels a little bit of an earlier release just to make sure she can get it out of the hand. And like I said, it feels like her misses before were going to be low. Her misses before were going to be dragged. She held onto the dart too long, doesn't quite come out properly, drags it by the treble. It feels like it's gone the opposite way now. It feels like I'm just going to get it out. Not panic, but under pressure that might turn into panic, and just get it out and push it high. And that's something to look out for, definitely.
Yeah, 100%. But yeah, it'll be interesting. We'll come on to the race for the women's match play at the end. The final event of the weekend, Mikuru Suzuki. Congratulations to the Miracle for winning a title. But this set of results, not just Mikuru's, just in general, also says to me that 4 weekends or 4 events in a weekend is too much, because this is a very fatigued tournament, and you can see that in the numbers that quality players are underperforming in that last event where they're all fucking knackered.
Yeah. And surprisingly, Suzuki's got a knack of doing this on the women's series, whereas when we've seen her elsewhere, she really does tend to falter towards the back end of a day or the back end of a week. We've seen her at the Super Series where it starts okay. By the end of the day, you're starting to think it's just gone from her a little bit, and as it goes on. But she's got a knack of doing this on a weekend. And fair play to her. It's keeping her in the race. It's keeping her in the hunt, because she made a plenty of finals last year without really getting over the line. She's got to keep chipping away, and she might break that status quo at the top if she keeps doing it.
Yeah, 100%.
Probably not for the women's match play. I think those seedings, those top 3 are virtually set now.
Yeah, I think so. But I'd say before we go to the seedings and stuff like that, it was just that I look at the numbers from quality operators, and they are really low compared to where we expect them, where that just says they're all dead come that last tournament.
Yeah. Well, you just look at the numbers on that page on Dart Connect compared to the other 3.
Yeah, that's what I mean. They're ridiculously well down on where they should be. But the race for the match play is hotting up. Remember, the cutoff is the 17th of June. Bo goes back to the top. Fallon 2, Mikuru 3. How far down are we going? Are you saying is safe? I'm saying 5th, Noah Lynn.
Yeah,
is safe. Top 5, done and dusted.
How many events left?
2 weekends, I think.
No, it's just 12, isn't it? That's after 8. Another 4, that's it.
Oh, it's 1 weekend.
Rianne's in.
Rianne as well.
Yeah.
So, off the back of that, and I've got another question. You might not know the answer because I only think, how far down the list can still get to 7th and 8th?
If they win all 4, it's $8,000. So anybody.
Realistically.
Problem is, if you account that they're all going to take a title, I'll give Lorraine the benefit of the doubt.
Yeah.
900 just is in with a shout if she has a really good. She makes a final somewhere.
A couple of finals, or a final and 2 semis, or
just one final will get her back in contention.
Yeah.
Aoife to Katie will be a good battle. £400 separating 8th to 13th. Really, really tight.
Aoife didn't play this weekend. That was my question. It was a surprise.
Oh, yeah. You didn't realise that?
Yeah.
Was she in the spots before the weekend?
I can't remember if she was floating. I think she was close, potentially.
Yeah.
Off the top of my head, I couldn't remember. Yeah, it was. Paige Pudding played for the first time as well, which was good. Good to see some good stuff as well. Some of the youngsters coming through. Eleanor Cairns played some good stuff. And again, I'm still not convinced on the twist in that action long term, but seemed to get it right-ish this weekend.
Yeah, long term, will it hold up? Probably not. Short term, will we see peaks and troughs of it? 100%. You look at Danny Jansen. Danny Jansen rocked up, won a Pro Tour in the opening year, struggled second year, and is now arguably the best player in the world without a tour card. Like Eleanor Cairns, look, Eleanor Cairns is on that sort of projection, but look, it's one of them, right? You will struggle with consistency with an action like that, but when you're on it, you'll be on it. You'll be must. It's the way you throw it. There is no perfect way to throw a dart. There never ever will be. It's all about how often you can repeat the action and get your desired outcome, whatever. Her throw makes that less likely to be repeatable because there's more going on, which means there's more that can go wrong. But when you're on it, you're just as likely as anyone else.
Yeah, no, absolutely. So the race for the women's match play is taking shape, and it's going to be a good little battle. Those last couple of spots, I really like Anastasia to hold on, just to see Anna back on a TV event.
She's got a nice buffer. The problem is if you get a Katie jumping above her and then somebody else attacking her.
Yeah.
So that's a similar sort of gap to what I said we'll give Lorraine Winstanley the benefit of the doubt for. But you've got Aileen in there, Robin Byrne have both won events before, etc. So I guess it goes twofold. What you're looking at from Anastasia and Katie, etc., will be, right, Bo and Fallon, go and do your thing.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. If you're one of those ones, you want Bo, Makuru, Fallon, Noel and Lisa to win all the events.
Yeah. To an extent, because what you also don't want is them rocking up to the Winter Gardens in the best form of their life because they've just won the last 4 Women's Series events. Because actually what then happens is, well, they've got you in, but you're then playing them in the first round.
Yeah, it's interesting. Chris says, will we have 2 streaming boards eventually? I'd like to think so.
Maybe 4 events a day. There's enough there, I guess.
That's what I mean. And look, the standard's going up now. There is more to pick from. Look, when we first started, you knew that it was always going to be one of 5 players on the streaming board. It's just a matter of who they're playing.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'd like so. Moving on. This weekend, something big happened, and it was fucking brilliant. A decade on, Gary Anderson returns to the winner's circle on the European Tour, Gob.
Glorious.
Glory, glory, Gary Anderson.
What a line.
The Flying Scotsman.
It's not what he was, but what a line that was.
Yeah. Look, he dodged some bullets and had some fair fortune, but look, name me a champion that hasn't had fair fortune along the way at some point.
Yeah.
But it was glorious. Again, I know you were busy. How much did you see of the Euro Tour over the weekend?
I saw Johan Engstrom beat Joe Cullen
Yeah.
because I tuned in for Martin Lukeman Day, which went swimmingly. I saw nothing else on that night. What did happen the next day? I saw the semi and the final.
So I'll run you through Gary's path. The 110 to beat Christian Perez was absolutely vintage Gary Anderson on the Saturday. Absolute vintage. Then we had the rematch. We had Price versus Anderson on the Sunday afternoon. Again, a really good game. Gary's averaged 102, Price 98. Just a good game. And what was nice, the pair shared a laugh and a joke with each other, which I like to see that everyone knows what's gone on, but it is water under the bridge, and that they did share an embrace and a laugh with each other, which was good. Then into the evening session, Gary Anderson against Josh Rock. Gary is 5-4 down. Josh Rock has missed a match start, and Gary Anderson takes out the most beautiful 1-2-2 on the ball. And it was at that point you just started to think, maybe, just maybe here, that it's Gary Anderson's time. Then the semi-final against Rob. Again, he was chasing Rob for a lot of it, but found something in the back end of the game. And then the final, look, Ross Smith will be kicking himself. But when it's your time, or as Chris Mason says, if your name's on pot.
I think Chris imitates someone else when he says that, but yeah, I get what you're saying.
It was just majestic. And look, we are going to see Gary back at the European Championships as well. Not played there since, I think, 2016. But when you look at the stats and you talk about numbers aligning, Gary's last Euro Tour win was Euro Tour 14, 10 years ago. This was Euro Tour 114.
Bit good, that.
Yeah.
It is brilliant. We've been talking about Gary winning things. His form has been absolutely brilliant. The fact he's even back on the Euro Tour full stop has been brilliant to see. He's in a great frame of mind. He's in a really good position. He's playing lovely darts. He's got a very good family life right now. He's back enjoying himself. He's back winding people up. He's producing ridiculous averages. This is what we've been asking. How many, what are we on episode of this? 154 or something?
156 now.
I think for about 98 of these, I've been sat here going, Gary, if you're going to go, just give it some effort for 1 or 2 more years. Don't go out thinking what could have been. Put the effort in for 1 or 2 years. The kids are at a decent age, and then go out on your terms on a high. Don't fade out. And look, he looked brilliant. I watched the semi, end of the second semi and the final. I thought Ross Smith played beautifully. Van Gerwen looked steady. That missed big number, didn't he? Was strange for him. In the final, I'll be honest, look, we're sat here waxing lyrical about Gary Anderson. Ross Smith played to the calibre of the player that we know he can be as former European champion. He is a Premier League player in waiting for me. He is brilliant to watch. 180 is a massive. I think he celebrates at the right times. Probably gives it a little bit too much. I think that can take a little bit of energy out of him, but he is just fantastic to watch. Says the right things, has got the right look about him. Excellent walk on. All of that going for Ross Smith right now. He's just got to go and convert another big one, I think. I thought that was his final. I'll be honest, Gary never looked like breaking Ross Smith at all until leg 13. When he pinged that 1-2-1.
Yeah.
It was Ross that was pressing every single one of Gary's throws, and you're like, this has got to go at some point. This has got to give at some point. And it went the other way. Surprised to see it, pleasantly surprised to see it from Gary's point of view. Ross Smith will be kicking himself, no doubt, especially with the amount of darts he's then had to break straight back, because at that point, look, I've just said it, Gary Anderson never looked like he was going to break for the first 12 legs of the game. To then do it back-to-back, I don't think would have happened after him scoring absolutely nothing for 12 darts on his own darts to win it. So, look, Smudger will be absolutely kicking himself, but he'll carry himself well. He'll dust himself off. He's lost a few of these sort of matches. But so is the likes of Chris Dobie, and he's been on to be a Premier League player and another major winner, etc. So it's all about how he responds from this. Kicks on again. I just think he's in a really good position right now.
Yeah. Chris, I've started your question. We'll talk about that in a second. Jonathan, thank you very much, my friend. Good that you have found us. And talking about Gary, before we look at the rest of the European tour as well, that I know there's an awful lot of money to play for, but we like looking at the tour card race to see where people are falling and things like that. Currently, Gary Anderson is only $4,000 off the top 10 again. Now, if you'd have said to me 18 months ago that Gary Anderson gets back into the top 10, I wouldn't have believed it.
I think it happens.
Yeah, I do as well. There's no way he goes out first round of every TV tournament.
No, but I guess the other issue is that we probably have loftier aspirations for the rest of the year for Luke Littler. Bunting's playing really well. It's just Peter Wright's going to drop like an absolute stone. And then you start looking a bit worried about Johnny Clayton's form and can Dave Chisnell pick up a little bit more, because actually those above look pretty solid. Going Price, not won a great deal of late. That might be an issue in 2025, but 2024 he should finish the year relatively well.
Yeah. But yeah, Gary Anderson bordering the top 10 in the world again. And look, we'll talk about it because he won. Look, me included, fans included, would love to see Gary Anderson back in the Premier League. But I can almost categorically say it's never going to happen.
I don't want to say never, because like we just said, he's in such a better frame of mind. But the issue is if the Premier League takes him out of that frame of mind, if they take him out of this comfort zone that he's in right now, playing darts on his terms, he is not the type of character to go chasing a Barney or a Phil Taylor send-off yet.
No.
At all.
But the other thing...
I genuinely think Gary's one that will look at his career and not believe just how great he has been. How great a dart player he is in comparisons of all times.
Yeah, I remember he's been mentioned in press conferences a few times, not by me actually, but by some of the Red Tops, that they say, that you are the best Scottish player ever, and he won't have it.
Yeah, which is ludicrous to me. Because
he just plays it down every time it's put in front of him. But going back to the point about the Premier League, the reason I say I don't think it will ever happen again is because he's found this place where he's happy that he plays in the Pro Tour. He's come back to play on the Euro Tour. And if you stick that Premier League in there, one of the others goes.
Yeah.
And I don't think he'll sacrifice that for one night.
No.
Is correct, Chris. That's what he does say. I love Jockey to bits, but for me, Gary is the best Scottish player ever, and he's well up there on my greatest of all time list. But Gary does say that himself. How are we doing, Bosh? Hope you are good. But yeah, just majestic, and I'm interested. Look, I don't know if they've made their mind up yet, but we all know there are changes to World Series events coming up. Do they ask him the question?
I think you'd be foolish to not ask him the question. However, he is in that sort of, how many more times can he go to Australia?
Yeah.
It's the same issue I've got with Peter Wright, isn't it? Like he's been there 10 times. Yes, the players want to see the best players, but also the players that might want to see Joe Cullen, Chris Dobie, etc. Because I get, he's my favourite. Yeah, but someone else's favourite might be Ross Smith. Someone else's favourite might be Chris Dobie. Someone else's favourite might be Dave Chisnell. Like, you can't please everybody all the time, and just picking your safe 8, I get, but they're not going to be around forever. You've got to start putting these new faces in these new places.
Yeah, but there are a couple, maybe not Australia, but there are a couple of one-offs and things like that, and that you could shoehorn one of them into. Look, Gary, it's 2 days. Do you fancy it?
Yeah, and he is a big fan of the other coast.
Yeah, even not that one. There's 2 in Europe that you could shoehorn him into. look, I'd ask the question. Whether he says yes or no, I'd certainly ask.
With the form of Peter Wright right now, if you want a Scottish world champion to tick a box in that regard or whatever else, you'd be stupid not to.
Yeah, and I just look at it that I look at digital numbers. It's what we do, and Gary Anderson is still one of, if not the biggest number driver I've ever seen doing this job for the last 7 years. It's incredible. He's only got to say hello, and people, oh, hello.
Yeah, because the next 10 words are him calling somebody an idiot, but it's brilliant. And the show if you really wanted to. You can have my job.
Yeah. We do, obviously, going back to the Euro Tour, we do all the Pro Tour stuff. King Barry's won a game.
Yeah, because he must have won a couple to qualify for this in the first place, but
in terms of ranking money, he's won a game.
11 straight, I think it was.
11 or 12, yeah.
Yeah, absolute disaster of a season so far for Keane Barry. By comparison, the first 2 games of the session, Callum Ridd 6-1 to Jeffrey Spiridans. I know Callum watches sometimes, but he's got to sort that form out again.
I look at Cal and I love him to bits, but it's more the mental side I feel for Cal that we've seen it a couple of times where we've had the post on Instagram. And I love the honesty from him. I think he's beating himself up too much where he calls himself a passenger and things like that. I don't think it's as bad as that, but there is it's all right practicing darts, but I think that mental side of it, we've seen what it's done for Stephen Bunting and things like that, and I think Cal might be one that can benefit from something like that.
100%.
Also, Martin Schindler's reign as German #1 didn't last long. Big Gabe overtook him again this weekend. Those two are going to leapfrog an awful lot.
We're going to see that a lot for the next few weeks, I think. That when they're that close, we know who the World Cup team's going to be. And I think with a team like that, does it really matter who is captain? Probably not. There's quite an age gap there. There's quite a seniority there. I think they'll both be comfortable, and I think they'll both be smart enough to make a decision as to, look, you're playing better, you throw first. It's a bit like the Australians, right? Damon Heta is comfortably ranked the #1 Australian right now. Does that stop him looking to Simon Whitlock for advice? Probably not.
Yeah. Also, we spoke about Johnny Clayton's form, but did pick up some wins here. A good win against Chris Dobie.
Very good win for Johnny Clayton. Him and another player that we mentioned in the Premier League conversation had a different result this weekend. Good win for Johnny Clayton.
Are you sending the link, or do you want me to do it?
Done it.
Cool. So good stuff for Johnny Clayton. What else stood out of this Euro Tour?
By contrast, not so good stuff for Joseph Cullen.
No, it was a surprise defeat.
What was this? ET4. I think his other 3 this year, he's looked absolutely magnificent. Gets to Sunday morning and then has thrown a bag of spanners. Didn't even get going this one. There was talks that he wasn't feeling too good. Still travelled, still tried to put a fight. Look, take nothing away from Enstrom, by the way, who was a dart away from averaging over 100 and becoming into the second Swede to do that on television behind Andreas Harrison. I've seen Enstrom up close at the Super Series, and when he's hitting tops, he is right up there. Honestly, like that was what I took away from that week. If Enstrom leaves tops, you're in trouble. But yeah, Cullen struggling in that regard. When we've seen him and he's played well this year, he's looked magnificent. But it is that massive drop-off we're seeing on those Sunday mornings that is the concern for Cullen.
Yeah. Jonathan, I will star your question and we'll do it towards the end of the show because we can all get involved in the debate then. Rob and Chris have both said it was ill, had tonsillitis. So look, if it's one of those, then look, that happens. I actually thought the crowd were magnificent in Sindelfingen this week.
This is for you because this means you actually have to.
Yeah, no, compared to last week when we gave them a bit of shit, I thought the crowd were decent this week.
Fair play. They're learning.
Look,
Germany, watch these ones.
They didn't have a lot to sing about in terms of German players playing, so it was one of those. Will Mike the Decker? Can he make? Is he going to make? Where's the World Cup race? Vandenberg, Hybrex. He's got a lot to do. He's got 20 grand to make up. He's going to have to win a Euro Tour.
How long they got? Cut off 27th of May. Ooh, not long.
No, he's going to have to win a Pro Tour and a deep run on a Euro Tour or win a... I'd be surprised.
He's got it in him. Scoring power is brilliant. Although he did lose to James Wade the other day, which isn't something a lot of people are doing at the moment.
Well, no, because James Wade lost first round again, and I know he's your boy, and I can't remember the last time that I saw James play well. Again, it's an 86 average. I think he's in a bit of trouble.
Take nothing away from Rich Edhouse, by the way, who is
Edhouse played
right in the conversation right now, by the way, for Jonathan's question in terms of top 10 on form. Richie Edhouse is playing some lovely darts right now.
Agreed.
Big 180 hitter, very, very underrated player. But yeah, look, Wadey is 10 points off. We've seen him have dips before. He looks like he could recover it a bit. But the problem is when he is having a dip now, the dip is lasting longer than the recovery.
Yeah, 100%.
So even when he's jumping back up, he's still five places further down than where he was before that dip started, etc. So, look, worries for Wadey. Clearly very comfortable. Again, family life looks brilliant. We're seeing him a little bit more on Instagram, etc. Not sure he's that much of a salesperson if you look at his most recent Twitter activity. Not for me, thanks. But yeah, look, his darts are clearly not at the level that we expect from James Wade.
Yeah, and as if by magic,
Here
he is. The housewife's choice is
got there in the end. We got there in the end.
How are we doing, lad?
Don't have kids. Good evening, everyone. All right, look at me with the new setup. Oh, wow.
He's got a microphone.
I know. So now everyone can hear what I have to say.
Do we have to?
Finally. Well, it's up to you.
That's a nice hoodie.
We were just coming to the conclusion that it was a wonderful weekend. With
Talking about
Gary
tight. Buy us new hoodies.
Tight ass.
Gary
and
Anderson.
a really, really good new brand that would probably whack our logo on for a few of them. If you have a word, they're in the chat room.
Gary winning, magnificent.
Gary?
Do the accent.
I saw play darts. So I want
yes, he's back.
So I want to do. Play darts. No, it was great. Like, wasn't it? I mean, if you'd have told me in 2024 that Gary Anderson is going to win a Pro Tour, Euro Tour title, I would have said, go back to the hospital, go and get yourself checked out, and go from there. Because there is no way on this planet that Gary Anderson was going to win a Euro Tour title. Absolutely insane.
Well, off the back of this Gary Anderson win, because it brings up questions around the match play. Gary is getting rather closer to being seeded.
No, he's not. If
he wins another Euro Tour.
Yeah, but he's not going
to the next one.
Exactly. He's buggered off.
Yeah, but there's still two more in June.
No, like it's not happening, Philip. There's more chance of Stephen Bunting getting seeded for the match play than Gary Anderson.
Big
Gando's
chance.
got to win.
Stephen Bunting, by the way.
Correct. Gando's got to win another Euro Tour and a Pro Tour before then. I'm not saying he isn't capable because he's Gary Bloody Anderson, lads. But just like Coventry City's winner, it ain't happening.
But he is top of the prize for of merit with 112.5 grand.
Yeah, but that's the point. Like he's very he's that far ahead of everybody else. Like he doesn't need to do anything. It's not going to happen. But Gando is in a position now where he doesn't need to play in anything now. He's already qualified for the Euros. Gary Anderson in the European Championship. Yes.
If you are Gary,
Got it.
why would you want to be seeded?
True. Why would
Why would you want to sneak in as number 16 and go up against the most dominant force in darts right now in Luke Humphries?
Yeah, I'm with you on that.
When you can drop in at 8 and 9 and take on Wright and Vandenberg and get an extra 2 rounds in, and then go up against Luke, or have a crack at number 6 Rob Cross, who would then play Heta.
Or worst case scenario, you draw Luke Humphries round 1 as a non-seed.
No, but Barzy, the best case scenario is he's in the bottom half of the draw.
Oh yeah, look.
Is there anybody in that bottom half of the draw currently right now, seeded wise, that Gando can't beat? Well, I don't think so.
I don't think there's anything. I don't think there's anyone in the world he can't beat. Forget the bottom half.
No. I don't think even on his best game currently right now he beats Luke Humphries, because Luke Humphries is that far ahead of the rest of the field. But could he get to a match play final? Absolutely, he can. You can win it again.
I'd also rather take Humphries on in a race to 10 than I would race to 11.
Well, I'd rather take Humphries on a race to 10 than a race to 18.
Yeah.
But also, whilst we're on that match play race, we've spoken about your boy. You thought he was safe, or you thought he would make the match play. Now, are you a little worried?
You want what? Me?
Yeah, your boy.
Where is he?
Your boy's in bother, my
15th.
boy. Your boy is in bother.
He's in a...
Oh, damn, we are in trouble.
That's not good.
No.
I still maintain that everybody... The big question, of course, though, is Ryan Searle in the match play? That's the big question.
Yeah.
Mathematically, just.
On a serious note, I actually think that obviously Littler was safe before then, but now I think that everybody up to Littler is basically safe. They can all go and book the hotels. I'd even put Barney in there at safe at 45.750, and maybe Ratajski as well. They're probably, you know what we call the murky green on Dark Connect? That's where they are. But the rest of them,
United's third.
No. Yes.
What was there?
Yeah, Daniel makes a good point, actually, that if Dirk van Dijvenbode isn't seeded for the match play currently right now, he won't make the tournament unless he goes on a big run. He's nowhere near on the order of merit race. He's miles back. Well, he's about, I'll say miles. He's about he's 3.5 grand off Ritz.
I took 2.5 grand.
Can I just say, by the way, on a side note, I was looking at this today. Have you looked at the tour card race recently?
Yeah. Michael Smith, 19 provisionally in the world. Anderson bordering the top 10.
No, the funniest bit is that Luke Humphries is on 1,200,000. Oh, yeah. Rob Cross is second with 370 odd grand.
Big gap. Yeah.
Look, and that's great for now. But again, the issue that Luke's going to have is he's defending the best part of $1 million in the space of 3 months.
Yeah, but I'm not being funny, mate. You can cover that. If he goes and wins the match play, wins a...
Yeah, what you're missing is he could rack up another $1 million and then doesn't have to defend fuck all. He could drop it all away.
Yeah. But that was the Euro Tour. Right, let's get on to the Premier League. Let's get on to Breezegate, as Rotterdam's been dubbed.
Or anywhere. Liverpool or Rome.
First of all, the overall Premier League night, I thought it was the worst Premier League night of the the year overall? Rotterdam.
Disagree. I thought Nottingham was crap. I'm not just saying that because you're here, Gob. I thought Nottingham as a whole, in terms of the night, was shite. As was Birmingham, in all fairness. Birmingham was crap. Nottingham was crap.
Nottingham's got the best average of any night of the campaign so far, bro.
Yeah, but like as a whole, the night wasn't great. It didn't inspire me. And the same way that Birmingham, like a couple of weeks ago, Birmingham was bobbins.
Yeah, because your hometown's a shithole. Nottingham was really good this year. I was quite gutted I wasn't in Nottingham for the first time ever.
And again, statistically, Rotterdam's been the worst.
I mean, when you've got a gale force wind stopping your darts going where you want them to, probably going to make a difference to that. In a sport where millimetres are so important, between that and the sex industry, like, never will you hear that phrase again.
Millimetres were important yesterday.
Fuck off, Lee boys.
We are back in the playground, aren't we?
Yeah, what do you expect? Unsurprisingly, the bloke that throws the heaviest darts won in those conditions.
There was one shot, and I might have got it wrong, but they might have been told not to show it again. And it was when Humphrey was playing, and they did the one over the shoulder, and you could see the dart go arc into the fives.
It's a bit of a concern when Exeter is literally in the middle of a fucking field and it is more draft proof than one of the biggest arenas in the Netherlands.
And Malachi's bang on. It is the best Premier League venue. No questions asked. Phil, this is a question for you more than anything, right? And Gob put it in our chat. Could you believe this, everybody? We actually talk outside of the show. I know, madness. Is Rotterdam like the Ziggo Dome?
No,
in the sense that
it's too small. So
no, but as in like the venue itself, is it just a brief? Because the Ziggo Dome, because you were obviously there, Gob, for us a couple of years ago now.
Big doors that open and you get a draft going straight across the building.
So what? Yeah. Right. So the problem at the Ahoy is it's rammed, obviously, like most of them are now. And once the wind gets in, it just circles round, and there's nowhere for it to get out because the way the stairwells are designed, once it's in and just going round and round, there's nowhere for it to go. But they have to open the doors for production to get wires, cables, and everything in.
Drill a hole. Get a cat flap. Practical solutions with Jack Harwood. Get a cat flap.
It's been the same for I'm not saying, by the way, I'm not saying this is right, but it has been the same for the last 3 years. The players knew what to expect.
It doesn't. There's no preparation for that. It's not like football. You go, oh, it's pissing it down. I'm going to put proper studs on today. You can't fucking do that in darts. You can't just go up 4 grams and go, oh, hopefully they won't get caught in the wind. It don't work like that.
I'm not saying it was, but what I'm saying is we knew it was going to be a massive breeze in there.
But then why?
There's nothing they can do to prepare for that. Just saying that, fair enough. Like, they know what to expect, but they can't do anything about that. They can't change They can't change their equipment.
So why are we still playing? If that's the case, why are we still playing the event in Rotterdam?
Money.
Yeah,
Because the World Series events take place in Amsterdam, where
swap them round.
It's too small. So the Ahoy is double the size of the arenas in Amsterdam.
But not the FAS. I can understand the Ziggo Dome.
Yeah, FAS is tiny compared to.
FAS is tiny. The Ziggo's twice the size of the FAS.
Yeah.
I'll swap it round then.
Fucking play in the fucking football arena. You got more chance of stopping the wind.
To be fair, the Ajax Arena is beautiful, actually, the Johan Cruyff Arena. You probably get about 30,000 in the venue. Peter Wright was using different darts again in Rotterdam. That is just the non-shockest thing you've ever said, Bob.
Before we go into
even news anymore.
I have got a clip. We are going to play Nathan Aspinall's clip because we didn't really ask him about the winning. It was more about Draftgate. But we'll play this, and then we'll talk afterwards because it's funny what he says.
You all know, I can't say too much, but all I'm saying is it was bad conditions. But it's the same for both players. maybe I keep winning it because I throw heavy darts. that might be the trick. But it was tough conditions tonight. But I think obviously the players were moaning a bit, but I don't think we dealt with it too bad. I thought we just got on with the game. But yeah, it was tough tonight, but I don't care. I won 2 out of 2 here. Yeah, very windy on stage. Conditions weren't great, but I think it's not just Rotterdam, to be fair. The big arenas, there's a lot of people, there's a lot of area, and people are in and out going back to the bar and so forth, so the doors are shut in. So yeah, it is windy on that stage, but it's the same for all players. Rotterdam is probably the worst out of the 16 venues. We've not played the O2 yet, so I can't comment on that. But it is bad, but you just got to get on with it. There's nothing you can do. It's not ideal, but who cares? I keep winning in the wind. Yeah. You tell them that. I can't comment.
Your back, the wind.
Pardon?
The wind in your back.
Yeah, it is. It is what it is. I think I purely think it's down to the size of the venue. Yeah. I think the venue is that big. I think doors are opening, doors are shutting, people are walking in and out, people are jumping up. It's huge. It's absolutely massive out there. You know what I mean? And you know, if you're a singer or whatever on that stage, the wind doesn't affect you. I think darts is the only thing that happens in this arena where wind will play a part. So they ain't going to change the whole arena for one night of darts, are they? Do you know what I mean? So yeah, it's not great, but I can't say what I'm about to say, but yeah, it happens.
Somewhere there is a boffin sat in their underpants that can tell you exactly which doors to open and close to minimise airflow through the building.
And I can just say quickly, Chris says on the chat there, why can't he say what he wants to say? Because he doesn't want to get fucking fined. Yes. Yes, Philip. Because he doesn't want to get fucking fined.
I love it that I think he'd been primed before he came in because it's like, I can't say what I want to say.
What, you mean to tell me that the PDC media team tell Nathan not to say tell players not to say things to inflame situations? Never. I am shocked.
It was you could see in there he wanted to go at it big time.
Yes.
You don't get an invite back, do you? Ridiculous.
Yeah. Correct.
Yeah.
You'll never play the Premier League again, mate.
Get Gary back in the Premier League for a year, and honestly,
please.
Gary and Vincent. Honestly,
please.
Just Gary Anderson and Vincent van der Voort. Go on for 1 year.
Weeks straight.
For 1 year, honestly, we'd be millionaires. We'd retire.
Things that he bulldozed as well.
The clicks would be unbelievable. Come on, boys.
Can you imagine? Can you imagine if Vincent got to play in Exeter? I know he's been there before with Michael, just in the fan zone. But can you imagine him? It'd be amazing.
It was bad. We were all there, but the fact that Nathan was absolutely fuming was funny. But let's go back to the actual night itself. That statistically, it was the worst. A nightly average of 94.87 is well down on what we've seen at most venues. God, that effectively it was shit.
Yep. But it's all right, though, because the PDC made lots and lots of money.
Here comes the money.
Money.
I'm surprised Shane McMahon didn't come up on stage in his trainers. There was that much money made from this. But there always is with Rotterdam. Like, let's get it right. Phil, you sent us an image and you posted it on your socials of how loud that venue is. That venue is
noise level. Only for the first part. Once Michael lost, they weren't as loud. But yeah, really? At the start, it was mental.
So of course, it is an outstanding venue, and it is my next Premier League venue that I'm going on, 100% as a fan.
You know that, yeah?
Yes, because I said it's just.
Is that as well as the UK?
Not the other one, yeah.
Pardon?
Is that as well as the UK one? We're not mentioning that one.
She's watching the show.
But look, game one was the highlight of the night. Smith against Littler, an incredible game. That kind of saved get the averages from plummeting even more. If you take those two off,
90s, if that.
yeah.
But then again, though, do we think that it's now coming to the point that the players are just genuinely knackered? I know they had a weekend off. There was no Euro Tour in between Rotterdam. But do we think the players are just genuinely bollocksed?
I think there's a few feeling it. Hence why we're not going to see Michael Smith and Nathan Aspinall in the Euro Tour this week.
That was the answer to another question in the chat room, by the way. That's why Ricky Evans in the Euro Tour.
Yeah, Smith and Aspinall not. Aspinall didn't play on the Euro Tour this weekend either. So, yeah, look, they are managing their calendar already. I don't think we'll see Luke Humphries in the next set of Pro Tours either.
No, I agree with that.
Is it too early for Nathan Aspinall to be managing his calendar?
I was about to have the same conversation because last year it cost
he
him.
missed the Players' Championship final.
Last year it cost him, but look, the players know better than anyone how their body is. And
I've just remembered the PDC changed the rules, so because he's in the Premier League, he gets a handout in the European Championships anyway.
No, they changed the rules, didn't they?
Yeah, so it doesn't matter. Yeah, miss what you want, mate. You're still going to be there just by turning up.
No, because they changed the rules that the players
they changed it back, didn't they?
Yeah.
Peer pressure. Yes, see, it works. Get him again.
So he had.
Well, hang on. I'm just looking at the Players' Championship qualifications for last year. I think it was, 12.5 grand that was there?
For mine head, somewhere around there, yeah.
It's about 12.5, 13,000.
Off the top of my head.
Yeah, and he's already on 8 grand.
So he's already better than he was last year.
Yeah, so I think he's going to be fine. If as long as he gets to a final of a Pro Tour again, he's there, isn't he? So then he can properly manage his schedule. He's off on the World Series Tour. Sorry, the conclusion of the Premier League group stage in Copenhagen. So yeah, I think he'll be fine at some point. I think he'll probably play the Pro Tours before the match play just to get some practice in ahead of defending his title. And in the process of that, he will get enough money to qualify for minor and then properly manage his schedule. It was 17.5, Joel. Thank you. Okay, so he's on 8 grand. So he's basically halfway there, living on a prayer by this point.
Wasn't that yours?
I think he'll be all right.
Yeah, Chris. Yeah, they do speak English in Rotterdam and Berlin, mate. Not a problem on that.
Everybody speaks English, but half of England.
Yeah,
correct.
So
Birmingham can't speak English here anyway because no one can understand you. Good old mate.
So look, the night itself belonged to Nathan Aspinall, his second nightly win, and he's doing everything he can not to get embroiled in a leg race on the last day of the season.
Now, Philip, I think I owe the man in the top right an apology. I really wasn't familiar with your game, Mr. Garwood, because he's in trouble.
He's not.
Philip, come on now.
He wins this week and puts another 2 points on his total.
Well, congrats on that. But currently, right now,
you're saying Smith doesn't beat Rob Cross?
Yeah.
And then they play each other. Then your boy's in trouble.
But then also, I think Humphries beats Aspinall. So Aspinall adds nothing to his tally.
Yeah, but what we're looking at is they're going to play each other a 4th and 5th on the final weekend in Sheffield.
Yeah. Totally agree.
Because this format sucks. That week has to happen way before, by the way, because the other 3 games are absolutely fucking useless in the first round. But yeah, they play each other. That's the game it's going to be, isn't it? Right now, look, Rob Cross has left it too late. I said if he's not up and running by Liverpool, he's in trouble. Liverpool next week, in trouble. Gerwin Price hates this format. Peter Wright, how many weeks before this 8 were announced was I banging on about Peter Wright's form and his 2 in 10 to get to finals night in the Premier League for a player that's won as much as Peter Wright has. It is not the right environment for Peter Wright to go and play darts in this format, the old format. Any format you can find, 16 weeks is way too long for Peter Wright to attempt to be good. Rob Cross has not had the year that I thought he was going to. He came in pretty under the radar, but he's not picked up enough. He's not chipped off enough 2 points to keep him in that running now. I think that's a bridge too far, unless he wins in Liverpool and suddenly he's right.
Which he's not going to.
No, but
let me. Let's have it right.
It looks like we're heading right now for a Smith versus Van Gerwen shootout in Sheffield.
Well, it's 3 into 2. Don't go, do they? Littler's there. Both Littler and Humphreys are there, as far as I can work out, because they've both still got to play Peter Wright at some point in the quarterfinal. So at least
they both go winless from here, which would be an absolute disaster for them. But one of them is going to play Wright in the final game in Sheffield. Littler could be top of the group in Leeds and then play Peter Wright round one in Sheffield the week after as well.
And Luke, exactly. Luke Littler could get him twice, which would be huge for him. And then, as you say, 2 into 3 don't go. It's Aspinall, Van Gerwen, and Smith. Those are the 3. And currently, right now, I think that Michael Van Gerwen, out of the 3 of them, is in the worst form possible. I know he won in Birmingham. I get that. But besides that night, I think you were right in saying, Gob, he's won one out the rest of his 11 games. The last spoke to you.
Yeah, it was.
That's the only time he's gone past. I think that's the only time he's gone past a semi-final in about 4 weeks. I can think
he was 1 in 8 apart from that week in Birmingham.
Yeah, semi-final week 9, 1 week 11 are the only ones since winning the third.
He's in trouble, mate, at the minute because Smith and Aspinall are hitting form at the right time. And Van Gerwen is not hitting the form at the right time. And this is not, you know my thoughts on the green machine when it comes to the Premier League. 8 players turn up, throw darts to the board, at the end of it, Michael Van Gerwen always wins. But right now, it ain't happening. And it seems to me like there's a case of it that he's got bored again. When he said he wasn't going to.
100% he got bored after he won 3 in a row. 100%. He switched off. But... I still think he gets there. I genuinely do.
If he doesn't win in Liverpool, if Peter Wright beats him, then Christ, we are in trouble.
If Peter Wright beats him, then it's a different dynamic altogether. He's then going to go and have to do something special. But we're having this conversation now. Most of us, I think it's fair to say, expect MVG to beat Peter and Michael Smith to beat Cross.
Yes.
So that sets up a semi-final clash in Liverpool, and Michael will have the fans in Liverpool over Smith. They're not cheering a Man United fan.
But he's St Helens. He's St Helens, though, isn't he?
Yeah, but
he's not that far down.
And let's be honest, we're going to waste all our effort on booing a 17-year-old little shit.
He's going to get it in game 1.
You're such a classy. You're such a classy lot up there in the Northwest. You're such a classy lot.
Yeah,
with a 17-year-old kid.
As I say, it's not like
what did Anthony do at the weekend?
Embarrassing. Absolutely embarrassing.
Why does your face look like a Man United home shirt? Yeah.
Fair enough.
Don't get me wrong, it's all ifs and we're playing stuff out. But if MVG gets to the final this week in Liverpool, then we're all saying he's there again.
I'm not saying he's there. I think if he wins the night and goes back to the top of the league, then I'll go, yeah, okay, fair enough, he's there. But even winning a quarter final, if Smith wins and then gets through and it's Asp against Smith again in a final, he's not there.
I think right now I'm backing Michael Smith to get there. If he doesn't, what will he look back on this campaign for the reason why he hasn't got there? Not converting enough finals into wins.
Yeah.
Because that's where those extra points are going to come from.
But to be fair to him, most of the time that's happened, he's been up against the best player on Planet Darts. The 2 finals that he hasn't won.
3 of the last 7 finals and not won any of them.
But 2 of them are against a man who is on a different planet. Who is Max Verstappen. at the moment. You know, like, but it's true though. Verstappen is absolutely blitzing Formula One,
unless
it rains. And then Luke Humphries, yes, up the Lando. But in the same breath, Luke Humphries is blasting darts at the minute. It takes a very special performance to beat him. It's very rarely you see Luke now averaging less than 95, 96. And if he does, you've got to take advantage of it. It's a similar way to when MBG was winning what he was winning in 17, not 16, because 16 he was on a different planet, but 17 into 18. If he was not turning up to events and hitting 95, 96, you had to take him out. If you didn't, he was going to win the event. People did that. Luke Humphries is I do feel sorry for Michael Smith because he seems to be in the opposite side of the draw at the moment to Luke Humphries, and no one can try and take him out. But yeah, Luke. I mean, but are we all agreed, by the way, that Luke Littler was too young for the Premier League and he wasn't ready for it?
Yeah.
Yes.
The other thing I'm looking at as well is what half of the draw they're all on, and obviously this week Aspinall and Smith are in different halves. MVG. Smith are in the same half. Aberdeen, Wright and Smith and Aspinall in the same half. So they both can't get maximum points. Leeds, they play each other. So one's leaving with nothing.
Also, I had that by the way, the football's on right now. I had that conversation at work. Borough will just park the bus. They'll get men behind the ball. They've not really got a lot to play for. Leeds will struggle 3-2 at half time.
But we all hate Leeds, John. We know this.
That's the other thing I'm looking at is over the next 3 weeks, or not this one, but the week 14 and week 15, Smith and Aspinall cannot physically both get to the final.
No. Well, no, Smith and 14 and 15 they can't. No, you're right.
No, that's what I mean.
Nathan Aspinall versus Michael Smith at the moment could be just basically a Premier League shootout. It could be a top 4 shootout going into 1916 in Sheffield.
You look at. I know we're trying to work out the same as they should do in the football, but if Aspinall loses to Luke Humphries in the quarterfinal this week, no points.
Yep.
Then Aspinall faces Littler. First round in Aberdeen. If he comes through Littler, he's going to play Michael Smith. So again, they're going to knock each other out.
There are better games.
Yeah. And then in Leeds, they play each other. One's going to leave empty-handed. The fixtures are not kind for Smith and Aspinall.
No, agreed. But then that also means that Michael Van Gerwen's got to go and win. To be fair, if you're desperate for a run-in, let's be honest about it. Michael Van Gerwen's got Peter Wright, Rob Cross,
the bottom 3
and Gerwin Price. Yeah, he's got the bottom 3. As run-ins, it's not too bad.
Yeah. If he wins his quarterfinals, there's 6 points. That puts him on 28.
Still in a bit of bother. He's got to do it. He's got to go and win it.
Well, of course, look, everyone has to do it, but I just look at the fixtures, and I think it will be Smith or Aspinall that misses out.
Bob says, will Peter Wright, Gerwin Price, or Rob Cross win a night? No.
Price can win a night.
But he won't.
He will. He can. The other
also, can we revert back to 24 being the magic number to get you in? Because we could have 5 players above 24 by the time we play game number 1 in Aberdeen.
They said this last week on Sky, and we were 24 is not going to be the magic number this year. Aspinall said it in his thing. They've all been talking about it. 26 and a high nightly wins may get you in, but they're targeting 28.
28 will get you in easily. But we move to Liverpool next.
Which, by the way, if that number isn't big enough, that works for one reason and one reason only, because your bottom has been shit.
Yeah.
We see that in the Super Series. If somebody's earned 28 to 30 points, or you've got 2 players locked in on 26 points after a Group A campaign, whoever's finished bottom has been a disaster.
Well, you look at Peter Wright, he's got 4 points over 12 nights. That's 2 wins.
Even,
2 wins.
Even Rob Cross, only 11 points. Going Price, 12.
I mean, people can talk about Gezi saying like he's not. I mean, James says there like Gezi is doing Adobe. He's playing well. He's not getting over the line. That can only get you so far. Sooner or later, you've just got to admit that your doubling has been piss poor, and that's exactly.
Mardle said differently last week. He said it was inconsistency all around because 1 minute he's producing 11 dart leg, the next minute he's producing an 18, whether that's a slow start or 5-minute starts at a double. The other thing is, we mentioned Peter Wright's record earlier, 2 from 10 qualifying. Going Price's Premier League record is equally disastrous up until last year.
But he's only been in 1 finals night, hasn't he?
Yeah.
That was last year.
Correct.
Not very good.
Premier League, 10th, 5th, 7th, withdrawn 7th final. At some point, you have to admit, this tournament is not for everybody.
Oh, no, it's not. The tournament isn't. But
The World Championships is not for James Wade. Set play over a long distance doesn't work. Leg play, brilliant player.
Not anymore. Used to be.
Shut up, you.
Nibble.
The Premier League is not for Going Price. It is not for Peter Wright. And if either of them are included next year, I'll be incredibly disappointed because that is the definition of insanity.
It depends on how good Going Price's year is, isn't it? There's
Irrelevant.
no way.
He cannot play in this tournament.
No, but Gob.
Just like to point out,
Gob.
Going Price is in the top 4. He will be picked.
I was just about to say, Gob, just as a side note, he's £17,000 outside of Nathan Aspinall right now.
He might well be, but at this point,
I appreciate.
If you are listening, I will take everything back I've ever said about you. If you're in the top 4 next year and you go, do you know what? I'm no good in that tournament. I'm going to take some time to myself.
But I will say this:
I'm playing for 300 grand.
Irrelevant.
There's £1 million in prize money, Gob. It's the second
They're
biggest
not
tournament of the year.
All he's going to win is 60, and you spend half of that travelling around for 13 weeks.
No, you don't. You pay for the players' hotels and that.
Shut up.
Gob, but you have to remember it's the second biggest
And then
tournament.
you do every World Series, you'll be comfortable with that. You'll piss off to Australia. They'll give you business class flights for the entire family, but I'm not playing the Premier League because it's not for me. Because I'm not getting bashed up every week and then complained on my Instagram. You've got to break the cycle.
All I'll say is this, right? The biggest thing for Price this year, the biggest thing for Price, is that he's got £100,000 to defend in July. If he can get anywhere close to doing that, he will be in the top 4 next year.
100%. And then he's instant pick.
Yep. Because I know Nathan's got a match play from last year, but he's got a runner-up from the Grand Slam of Darts, and he's got a runner-up from the World Grand Prix to defend.
Yeah.
That's 120,000. He's got to. Well, it's basically the best part of 135 grand he's got to defend. If Price defends that, good luck, Nathan.
Yeah. So he's going to be in. Peter Wright, I
Totally agree with you.
Yeah, but Price will be in.
Rob Cross as well. Rob Cross should be nowhere near the Premier League next year.
But he will be because
he's going to be number 2.
Number 2. So literally, realistically, looking at that lineup, there will only be possibly 2 changes for next year's Premier League.
Yay!
Unless they change the format. If it's 8, I can only see 2 changes. Maybe even
this
1.
format works really well with the fans, and it has absolutely nothing to do with the fact that Luke Littler has completely changed the landscape.
Gob, you can moan about this all you like, pal, and I can understand that you do, but it obviously does work for the fans.
First time they've ever sold the Premier League out, ever.
Because Luke!
No, but it's not though, is it?
It's not because we're on the 4th year of this format. It's because there's a 17-year-old kid who was on BBC News bashing everybody up.
Ticket sales were already 35% up on the Premier League before he did what he did. In this current market, in day and age, 35% up is fucking massive.
Yeah,
not nothing.
I tell you now, like there is no. I will bet you can have whatever odds you like on the fact that the format gets changed because it ain't happening. The fans love it in the venue. Because obviously for TV viewers, it doesn't work because you see the same 8 players and then format doesn't work, and we get that. But if you are going around the countries and watching your only night of darts, to be able to see a winner is big. And clearly, the fans are voting with their feet, and they're not leaving the venue early like they used to for the final game.
If it stays with 8, Littler in, Price will be in, Humphreys will be in, Aspinall will be in, MVG will be in, and Cross will be in.
Well, if he stays in the top 4.
Yeah, because where he's provisionally ranked.
If he stays in the top 4.
Where Michael Smith, they've got to try and justify picking the world number 19.
Yep.
If he remains that low,
he's got to win a big
clearly,
one.
but he's a sellout. He's got a different shirt, so he's got to be picked again.
And not kidding to you, as much as we don't like to think about it, realistically, are they not gonna pick the UK Open champion? Because of what he offers and ticks the amount of boxes that he ticks?
I think he'll be close.
I do. Like, as much as no one wants to watch him at the moment, with the way that his style is, and let's be frank about it, the style isn't watchable for a lot of people. And we saw that at the UK Open itself with the amount of booing that was going on in Minehead, which you don't often get down there. They're normally a very respectful crowd. He's got to be in. He's got to be in.
I said it at the time, and I'll say it now. I'm absolutely flabbergasted. It took until the 3rd break to boo him.
But
I was on it from leg 1.
And then hang on a minute.
The only time I watched him all weekend, I was in every other room possible.
But hang on though, you look at the rest of the players that are around there. I know we've got to do predictions, but might as well carry on with this. Damon Heta, world number 6 currently as it stands. Dave Chisnall, world number 7. Johnny Clayton, world number 8. I mean, what do they throw the bones at Heta? Do they give Chisnall another run?
Damon's a great guy right now.
Do they give Johnny another run?
Damon
For Premier League champion, no less.
Premier League player right now for me.
You look.
Who's that?
Damon Heta.
That Luke Littler wasn't available for Copenhagen. The first name they went to was Dimitri.
He just.
Well, that's another.
It was a week after. Come on now.
Yeah, and also as well,
the decision was made before he won the UK.
And he also looks slightly Danish. I'm just going to chuck that one out there.
It's true. Like he's not far off, is he? Belgium's not that far from Denmark. Hang on, if they can throw
him in the Benelux Masters for fuck's sake. Absolutely shambolic. Oh yes, he'll fit over there. Well, he thought. I'm sorry, my language tonight's been atrocious. But
James, we spoke about this earlier. We would love Gary, but it just won't happen.
If Barney ever gets back in the Premier League, that is me done with darts.
It's not happening. Right, let's do some predictions for.
All right, we're trying to get rid of him.
Hang on, Barzi, you still got his number? Oh, sorry.
Let's do some predictions for Liverpool.
So I can't lie, Mikey. So did I for 10 minutes. I was sat going, what the bloody hell was it?
hang on, Barzi. I'll give you my biggest prediction of the night. Luke Littler gets booed out the fucking building.
He's going to get fucking hammered.
He's going to get pelters.
But he knows he's ready for it. He's expecting it. So the 4 quarterfinals are Luke Littler against Gerwyn Price, Luke Humphreys, Nathan Aspinall, Peter Wright, Michael Van Gerwen, Michael Smith against Rob Cross, gentlemen. So first up, Littler against Price. This will be, apart from Cardiff, the only venue where Price is going to get a hero's welcome, I think.
I don't think he will. I think this will just be the Boo Derby.
No. We love the Welsh in Liverpool.
Yeah, but you don't love Gerwyn Price. You've absolutely pelted him for the past 4 years.
Across the road, isn't it?
I still think that the wins this. I think there'll be a big fish checkout or a huge 1-4-2 or a 3-dart combo, and he's just going to give it some to the crowd. I think 6-4 Littler wins.
Wrong. He loses 6-3.
Okay.
I am going for.
Backed on losses, by the way, and I backed last week's bang on the nose. Just put
Congrats on one prediction correct. Well done.
I think Gezi wins just because I think Luke's going to get absolute pelters. I'm going 6-4 Gezi.
I'm not being funny. Like he's going to have 5 security on the walk on. Forget the 3.
He's
No,
gonna
they're not going to punch a 17-year-old. I'm just going to boo him, for Christ's sake.
Humphreys against Aspinall.
Do you know, I've got a little sneaky suspicion that we see a bit of an upset here. I think, yeah, Sonic, go on then. I'll pick Asp. Asp 6-5 last leg decider. Why not?
Oh,
No, Aspinall gets whooped. 6-2.
Big Johnny, stop it now. That's funny. I shouldn't laugh. I'm sorry. That's funny.
I'm going Humphreys 6-3. I just think he'll find something. You look. I know Nathan won the week and he handled it better, but there's no way that Luke should have thrown that game away against.
True. I will concede that.
It's not quite the line from Snatch, but there's no reaction like a Luke Humphreys reaction. Someone gets bashed. That kid's angry.
Yeah, I think Luke will be mean business and
instead of your head blown off of a sawn-off shotgun in the back of a limousine.
Yeah, I'm going 6-3 to Luke. Right against MVG.
Good Lord. How many legs are we giving Snakey?
3.
1.
4.
He's shite.
6-4 to Michael for me.
Garlic, we are an impartial 2-hour weekly roundup and review show. You can't call somebody shite.
When did that change?
You can call an organisation shite. We do not call players shite. We're not in that business.
When did that change?
The weekend then.
He's crap.
Michael Smith against Rob Cross.
6-4 Mikael.
Ugh, I hate to agree with you, but yes. 6-4.
Dance with me.
See, it's all on what version of Michael Smith turns up, because we see Jacqueline Hyde. Like last week in Rotterdam, he was sensational in round 1 and then averaged 90 in game 2. But I think he does win. I'm going Michael Smith 6-4. So I would like chat room.
Oh, hang on. Sorry. Can I just say quickly? Have we all just gone the same scoreline? Michael Smith 6, Rob Cross 4.
Christ.
Right. I mean, you know what that means.
Maybe trouble ahead.
Yeah. Yes. You know what that means. Chat room. Absolutely bank the house on Rob Cross winning. Correct.
I would like your finalists and who wins on the banks of the Mersey.
Oh, I'm going to look like a complete arse.
Welcome back.
Yeah, fair enough. You know how I said that Michael Van Gowen's in trouble?
You've got him winning the night, haven't you?
and he beats Luke Littler.
You silly ginger shite. You're shite. Well, I've got Michael Smith winning the night. And he beats Luke Humphreys.
I have one finalist the same as you.
You've got Humphreys and Van Gerwen, because Van Gerwen's already beaten Peter Wright, so he'll have an easy one, then he'll have time to wait, then he'll beat Smith, and all these
Van Gerwen with 6-3.
I have got Luke Humphreys beating Michael Van Gerwen in the final 6-3.
I knew it would be 6-3.
Yeah.
I knew it would be 6-3.
Yeah, I've got Luke Humphreys beating MVG 6-3 in the final. Warren's gone Humphreys beats Cross. Cross? If Cross
Oh,
gets
that
to the
makes things
final,
interesting. We'll chuck
I was
some
gonna
points
say,
for Robbie boy.
if Cross gets to the final, that does throw the cat amongst the pigeons.
It really doesn't, lads.
I did
Don't-
say it's not panic tie just until after Liverpool, and then I changed my mind earlier because I had a dreadful couple of weeks.
lads, don't
Liverpool.
try and dress it up. He's still 8 points off the top 4.
No.
He's still be 8 points on the top 4, and that's if Michael Van Gerwen loses to Peter Wright. Come on now, it wouldn't make it interesting. The only way that this makes it interesting is if Gezi goes and wins the night, which is not going to happen. Because even if he loses to Littler, even if he beats Littler, he ain't beating Humphries.
Well, could you imagine if we all fuck it up and it's Price against Cross in the final?
Whoa!
Oh, that could be quite interesting. Yeah, all right, I'll take that.
More fun than listening to him go, "Oh, I told you Michael was safe." Grow up.
Nothing's changed with you then, darling, since you moved down south.
Oh, he's a proper.
Nothing's changing him. He's still an idiot.
He's a southerner now, isn't he?
Yeah, grow up.
He has a dry chip now.
Oh, do you?
A what?
He has a dry chip.
What about?
You don't have
Chips and
saucy
gravy,
on
though.
chips.
I never had gravy anyway.
Oh,
you
true.
disgust me.
Gravy's minging me. Ketchup. Just
Grow
ketchup.
up.
Like a 12-year-old me.
Grow up. Gravy's the God's
No,
gift to the
Gravy is the
world.
God on chips.
No. Ketchup.
Again, this show's descending into chaos, and I fucking love it when we're back together. Chat room, what do you have on your chips?
Yeah.
Ketchup. Salt, no vinegar, and
Hang on.
ketchup.
Hang on, sorry. Can you put a poll ready? Can you put a poll up? What's the 10 minutes before question time? We'll get the counters in the chat room. Gravy or ketchup? Do it.
If anybody says HP, you are getting banned for life.
Yeah, HP sauce.
And
is
we're
just
sending the Met Police your IP address.
correct. Bring back Boise. Basically him, just not with a massive beard. Curry sauce isn't a bad shout either, actually. We might need to add that into the discussion.
The problem with curry sauce is it's so varied.
I love the fact that we've got so much darts to talk about. You talk about
Salad cream. Nels, you're a cretin, pal. What are you doing?
salad cream. Is that even a thing? Oh,
Sweet
God, what is this?
chili.
Sweet barbecue, mayo. Oh, Jesus, you lot disgust me.
Wrong-uns everywhere.
I love you, though. It's always great to be back. Anyway, is there anything more darts related we need to talk about?
Gemma says just salt, like Phil in his tears when Van Gerwen finishes 5th.
God,
More chips. Yes, that's what you have on chips. More chips.
God, but you just in the you're getting it mood tonight.
Oh, 100%. Can we
Someone's
talk about
bitter
the other
about-
situation yet, Philip?
No, because
What's
it's
that? Oh, that one.
Yeah, that one.
Can we talk about it?
Apparently not.
No.
Boo! Give the people what they want. Give the people what they want.
He saw nothing. Look, Bosch is from Liverpool, living in the south. Red sauce, ketchup, 100%. That man knows.
I can't believe no one's put gravy.
There you go. The poll's running.
Someone did put gravy.
Who did?
Oi,
put
Troy,
gravy?
you're a cheeky shit. Dougie put gravy, but LU, Leeds, you can get in the bin. Your opinion doesn't count.
Fair play to you watching. Fair play to you watching us rather than Leeds battering Middlesbrough right now.
Anyway,
Right.
what's left?
What we got? Your Asian tour as well.
Oh, Alexis Toilet. That's all I know. Did he win?
I'm not going to lie. I didn't see any of the Asian tour over the
What do you
weekend.
mean you didn't stay up till 4 o'clock interviewing the winners? What's wrong with you?
Didn't get the opportunity, did I?
Thank you, Anthony.
Coolham probably is predicting a riot.
Oh,
Is that what he's going for?
I'll sing that with him because I did that in Blackpool with the owner of that song.
What, you did that with Ricky Wilson?
No, the dart player.
Oh, fair. When you get a pie, do you get it wrapped with the chips? I don't have chips with the pie. Always mashed potato for me.
I've been for food with Jarlif about 26 times, and Joey's only ever had the same 3 bloody meals. Steak and ale pie with mashed potato, fish and chips, and
Roast.
What you eat?
Toby.
Oh, roast. Yeah. That's it.
Love a Toby Carvery.
And a pasty in Minehead, but it has to be in Minehead. You won't go to Greg's because it's a fussy fucker.
No, I don't mind a Greg's pasty. I actually had a Cornish pasty today at work. It was nice, but no, I still have PTSD from pasties at Minehead, and you know why.
Super Series. Kieran Tian booked his place at Champions Week on Saturday. I thought Saturday was a really good night of darts at the Super Series.
Totally agree. And I thought the commentary was dog shit.
Oh, awful. Absolutely shocking.
Most was all right, but the other fucker who was with it was awful. No, in all seriousness.
But I didn't argue with the chat room.
my favourite moment from the week will always be the person who said that Chris Mason is a Phil Taylor guy.
You're clearly a Phil Taylor fanboy.
Oh, I love it. But no, I mean, Kieran Tian was excellent. There's no doubt about
I thought it was a really good night of darts, and it's good to see Harry Ward back playing good stuff as well.
Do you reckon he'll ever go back?
Not full time. I think he's content with life, just doing what he's doing. It's a shame because he's unbelievable talent.
Yeah,
when he's on it, yeah, rolls.
What was Henry? Was Henry arguing in the chat room, Elaine?
He was trying to be Mace, but it wasn't working. It didn't have the same impact.
I turned my pack down today, so I didn't have to. It's funny when Chris is it's brilliant to listen to. Whack that right up.
But yeah, no, fair play to Kieran Tian. It was just a really, really good night of darts. And someone I'm going to give a massive shout out to, didn't quite click from him how he wanted to, but Harry Gregory is going to have a bright future as well. Real level-head, mature boy. And he is still a kid. Saw some really good stuff from him.
He talks about the right things as well. So I was players marshal on the Wednesday, I think it was. Shut up. When he won the group, and he's like, "Oh, the fixtures have worked out really nicely for me. I've got the players that I haven't lost to yet. I've got to make sure that I count with those, and then I can go and compete with the others. And if that comes out all right, I'll be all right," sort of thing. Like he analysed it really well. Really nice action. Tops hitting was brilliant.
Yeah. This week or today as well, Scotty Mitchell 5 from 5.
Well,
I always wanted
that come from.
The thing is, I sat here last week and put Sebastian in my top 5 without a tour card. And then today went exactly how I expected it to go. And I was like, if I'm backing Scott to win 5 out of 5, Sebastian to win 4, how have I got Seb in the top 5 but not Scott?
Because I think Seb does it more consistently in other tournaments than Scott. And I don't mean that horribly against Scott, because I think he's playing fabulous. But in that environment, Scott thrives. If they were to play each other on a challenge tour, I think I'd back Seb to win.
Possibly. Although, look, the Scott Mitchell of the last couple of months has been excellent, by the way.
I agreed, he has.
Scott Mitchell, the last outing in Reading, made 2 finals, a semi and a quarter or something, like 5 events, and he never got less than a quarter final. Then obviously he's gone to play for England for what might look to be the last time in Scott's career. He's at that age now. He's given it a good crack. He's got other commitments nowadays. He's gone and got his 50th cap. We saw how much that meant to him. Played really well, put in the best performance of anybody in that tournament. And then he's rocked up and won 5 out of 5 from today. I think we're seeing a fresh Scotty with a slightly more positive outlook. Look, he come off the tour in his second year where he had a running average of 90 plus. That hurt a lot. He's like, I didn't do anything wrong. I've played at a better level than a lot of players that have kept their tour card, but timing, not picking up the right games, all that sort of stuff just seemed to go against Scott in his final year. But look, he's playing brilliant darts. I've seen he's got excellent stagecraft, shall we say.
Yeah.
Very experienced, goes about it the right way.
Like
And part of it, like he even said to me today, that the time up in the commentary box he thought wasn't helping him because he's now thinking how a commentator thinks, going, right, this is what they'll be thinking now. Like all that narrative that we tell people that, right, they've been wanting to get out of this, they'll be looking at this, they'll be looking at that. They're all things that he hadn't really considered as a player before, he was saying. But actually, now that he's been in that position, he was almost overthinking that situation. He's still come out 5 from 5 today.
Oh, yeah, 100%. No, it was really, really good on the Super Series. Should we open question time as well? So get your questions in while we think if we've missed anything.
Scott's also not sleeping in his own bed. He has booked a hotel for the week to focus 100% on his attempt in the Super Series.
Yeah. I'd start this
like
one.
Richie Howson books a Premier Inn whilst playing at the Circus Tavern, despite living closer than either of the hotels.
Yeah.
Big fan.
We had this question in earlier, and it kind of marries up with what we're talking about, so it's a good one. Jonathan's asked, right now, our current top 10 on form.
Top 10?
Yeah, your current top 10 players right now on form. Who are you picking?
Right.
Not rankings or anything like that. Pure form.
Luke Humphrey's number 1. Don't think there's any debate on that. Then we are struggling. I guess Hector, Chisnell, Gary. He's second in the Pro Tour order of merit, mate.
Damon Heat. Yeah, good time.
Littler still. Still would put him up there. Ryan Searle.
Littler's in there, 100%.
Ryan Searle. Bullet. Probably put up there as well. Another one I'd probably say as well. With the way he's been working on the Pro Tour is Jan van Veen.
I'd go personally. I think I'd have Ed House in there. I'd have Schindler in there.
Oh no, I can't have Schindler. No. 1 Euro Tour win does not make you mean you're on form in front of your own crowd. He's a very good player, but he ain't top 10. Noppy? Not sure.
He's in mine.
He won a Pro Tour recently.
I quite like his form. I've got 9. Oh, I suppose I've got to chuck him in, but I don't think it's been great of late. And no, I'm not going there. I'm going.
Go on then. Who's your 9 or 10?
I've got 11. Top 5. Littler, Humphreys, Ross Smith, Damon Heta, Gary Anderson.
Ross Smith ahead of Damon Heta?
I didn't say in any order. I just said top 5.
Oh, right. Oh, okay. Fair enough. Okay.
They're the top 5. I've grouped them as a 5.
Okay. Yep.
The other 5, Richie Edhouse, Stephen Bunting, Danny Nopper, Josh Rock.
Yeah, he did win a Pro Tour recently. He made a Euro Tour quarter-final.
And an outside shout. Look, I know I've left Van Gerwen and Price out. I don't think they're the form players that they have been, blah, 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 or Michael Smith, or Rob Cross, or anyone like that. I've gone either Luke Woodhouse or Cameron Menzies.
I think Mike De Decker deserves a decent shout as well, with the way he's playing at the moment. He's been absolutely outstanding this year.
I've put my 10 down here, and funny enough, you obviously where we watch up the Pro Tour, Gob, I've got some similar to you as well. Again, in no particular order, I've got Anderson, Luke, Heta. I still think Price is. I think Price is playing really, really well. May not be winning games, but it was who do I think on form, and I actually think that he is playing exceptionally well. Ed House, Rock, Dobie, Schindler, Menzies.
Jan van Veen and Mike De Decker deserve to be up there as well. They have to be.
This is why I love things like this, because it's personal preference. That's why I love getting into things, and everyone sees things differently.
I mean, Mike De Decker has come from absolutely effing nowhere, really, to be right in the race to the match play. He's comfortably in the World Grand Prix race. I also think that Jan van Veen, again, is doing the same, is doing similar bits and bobs. Obviously, where is Jan van Veen now? He's 7th in the match play race. Currently in the World Grand Prix race, he is 9th. On the current year-to-date order of merit, he is 17th. I don't think that's not a bad effort. I mean, Jermaine Wattimena as well, if we're just going Euro Tours, then Jermaine Wattimena deserves a shout because he made back-to-back Euro Tour quarterfinals and he's in the European Championships already.
Long-term form, Scotty Williams is back to the sort of player that got him a tour card.
Yeah, agreed.
I did miss out Searle, Elaine. I think Searle deserves to be up there as well, especially for the first, I don't know, he's fallen off a little bit from the first couple of months of the year where he was on it, but I still think he probably deserves to be up there.
Yeah, no, it's great. It's interesting. How's Painter now? He's probably calmed down now. I was producing today. Unless Doug is an absolute master of the Peter Manleys, I didn't see him do a lot wrong.
Yeah, Elaine, just go back to that point. Elaine says, bet if you were going on floor or TV form, your top 10s would be different. Oh, yeah.
100%.
Oh, yeah. If TV form, but to be fair, though, with TV form, what have we got? The UK Open so far this year, I think.
Okay, if we're going off TV form, Dimitri has to be in there.
Yeah, he's the only winner of a TV tournament, ranked TV tournament this year.
Yeah.
No. I will change the rules.
Do a Barry.
No.
Do a Barry if Andrew Gilding ever qualified for the Prem.
He was going to do full Simon Cowell then in the X Factor. I'm going to give you a chair. You can replace him.
Correct.
Have Bo and Fallon qualified for the match play? Probably not mathematically yet, but yeah, they're there.
Yes.
Yeah, there's probably a set of scenarios but yeah, they're there.
Yes.
Yeah.
Bo's on 21.5 grand. Fallon's on 17.5. They've got to try and get Natalie Gilbert, currently 9th, is on 3.5 grand, and Robbie Burns at 3.4. Exactly. Exactly.
Well, that spoiled it.
To be fair, this is a good one, Gob, and obviously this is something that we spoke about at the time. Thoughts on Adam Warner after he's winning the Super Series, getting his tour card, not won a game since October?
It's been tough for Warner. Look, one, I love Adam to bits. Very, very good player. We grew up, well, not grew up, but we played university darts together or against each other for a number of years, had a number of good battles, beat me in the quarterfinals the last time we played, the little shit. The jump in his game was fantastic to see. Obviously, from a university standpoint, trying to get that side of the game, more eyes on the product. The way that he quits himself is absolutely fantastic. I just think it all came I think it's come a little bit too soon for Adam. I don't think he's a finished article at all. He went to Q School off the basis that he won a week at the Super Series and could afford to go to Q School. He started okay, picked up a number of results, probably not as many as he would have liked to. He had appendicitis, so was out for a while and hasn't really hit the same level that he started off with when that is. But again, second year, chasing money, that becomes a lot more difficult. We spoke of second season syndrome a lot. When you're putting money on the board for the first year, there's a different mentality. Everything's still a bit new. You're still chasing X, Y, Z. Now that you've been there a year, you know how difficult certain things are. It's a little bit more difficult to get yourself up for it, to go into that building over and over again in a tennis centre in the middle of Wigan to play darts. And he's also at the point where he can play in less elsewhere because he's got that tour card.
Yeah.
So where he has been out injured and unable to play, he then can't rock up to the events that he used to get himself in a position to be at a level to win a tour card.
Yeah, no, I don't disagree. Adam, WWE Live was amazing, superb.
Wow.
Every time we ever talk about WWE now, that is coming up. I'll just keep saying that.
In fact, I sent Jar the video from the pop. It was incredible. Will the Belgium team get together this year? The Belgium team's interesting because, from a dynamic point of view, I just think Team Belgium is better off being Dimitri and Mike De Decker. From a camaraderie point of view, because I'm not sure that Kim gets on, or Dimitri gets on with Kim, vice versa, and Kim and Mike have got issues as well.
Do you think, this is a serious question, do you think that ever since Kim changed management companies, it's gone downhill from there? Because obviously they were with the same management stable for years. And obviously that particular management company tries to foster the all-inclusive team effort and all the rest of it. But then Kim left that particular management company. Do we think that obviously with Dimmy still there, there's some? I don't know. Like I'm not trying to insinuate anything. I'm not, but that could be a factor.
Possibly, but I always think Kim's had that streak in him where it's all about him, and rightfully so in a single sport. You think he's always had it in him. You see him on the hockey. It's about him, and rightfully so in that. I'm not saying that's a bad thing. So I just think that as a team dynamic, I'm not sure Team Belgium works in its current climate.
It's worked before because it looks like this. And you do as the captain tells you.
Yeah, but now he's not captain.
Gary Anderson has never in his life said sup. But you carry on, Mr. Anderson. Ask away. It is question time after all.
Yeah. Ask what you want. And I'll get that sorted. Will Mason Whitlock win a tour card at Q-School 2025? And not for me.
No, not yet.
Not yet. Not ready.
He's got more to do in the Super Series yet before I think he goes and wins a card.
Yeah.
Could be wrong.
We spoke about this a lot as well. Funny how the mainstream media judging like Cesium. Yeah, it is funny.
But remember, lads, as I said this before, that he was not ready for the Premier League, according to most people in the media, and most Darts fans as well. Most of Darts Twitter said that he wasn't ready for the Prem.
There was me on the other hand. I'm saying get him in after round one.
Excuse me, what did I message you?
Yeah.
What did I message you on that night?
We had the
Thank
conversation.
You. Correct. He was too good that night. We both literally said, I'd have him in. I was banging on about it since day one of his run in the Worlds.
Troy, the Super Series, there's no set formula for the groups. It depends on different things.
Depends on where we put you.
What are our thoughts on Jules Van Dongen's form? I don't think he's playing as well as what he was at the back end of last year, where he almost saved his card. I thought he was playing really well then. Not quite happened this year.
Yeah, I mean, I tipped him to win cross-border the other week, and that went well, but...
Yeah. Do I think Gary Anderson will be in Graz for this week's Euro Tour?
No.
Doubtful.
No. Hang on. Do you?
Bear in mind, by the way, Rick Evans was second reserve.
Yeah, we already know that Smith and Aspinall aren't there. So there's two straight away.
There's absolutely no way, now that he's won a Euro Tour event and qualified for a European Championship, that Gary Anderson will ever go back onto the Euro Tour this year. Unless he gets...
25 Gs, bro.
Not 25, mate. 30.
30 Gs, bro.
I know, he will.
I'm going with 30 Gs.
I think you'll see him in Kiel.
You think? I just want to play darts. That's all I want to do. Play darts. That's all I want to do. Play darts.
Yeah.
And all I want to do is fish. All I want to do is fish. Go fishing.
So yeah. We'd like to see a new women's. I would like to see another women's tournament introduced.
But what then?
I'd like
What
to see.
kind of event?
at Minehead, I would like to see a version of the Women's Players' Championships to finish their season.
I can understand that, but at the same time, genuine question.
Yeah.
For a unisex tour that the PDC like to call themselves, if we go down the event of another event,
Another one?
You're joking. We might as well just go down the same route. We might as well just go down the split tour route. And then we might as well go and have a PDC Women's World Championship.
I wouldn't rule that out either.
Depends. Women's Grand Prix at Leicester? No.
No,
one wants to watch the World Grand Prix at Leicester anyway. Bring it back home. Give the people what they want.
Yeah, me personally, I'd like to see a Players' Championship, the combination of the Women's Series at Minehead.
Will Johnny get the green jacket again in Graz? No.
Please. Go, Johnny, go.
I just think the thing is that like if we're going to go down that road, let's split the tours out then now. Let's not do if they want to come together for the main World Championship, go for it. But we have to have a PDC Women's World Championship, if only to stop bars getting pelters every week from people who from Bowgreaves. Yeah, Big Johnny, tickets might be through the roof for Leicester, but it doesn't mean no fucker wants to go there by choice. Sorry, I know you're a Leicester fan, but
that's just the seats at the back of the stand.
Correct. we all want to bring it back to Ireland. Well, Troy, there is a time. There is a time that it's not split into men and women. It's the PDC. The PDC call themselves a unisex tour.
When it suits.
Correct.
I forgot. Gemma asked, "Are you refereeing on Saturday, Gob?"
Saturday, yes. Sunday, no.
Was on Sunday?
Sunday is the Modus Charity Influencer Day. 8 players, 8 TikTokers, YouTubers, etc. Pieface, Charlie Murphy, George Scafey, and a few others. Owen will be refereeing on Sunday. And you might hear my voice elsewhere.
Phil, what are we doing Sunday? We're watching that, of course, yeah? Good luck, mate. Good luck.
Everyone, thank you very, very much. We've gone into Fergie time, but it's been a belter of a show. Thoroughly enjoyed this evening's action.
And we didn't talk about VAR once. Yes!
No, but there's some interesting stuff on Twitter at the minute. Barcelona are now demanding a replay.
Yeah, they want El Clasico replayed.
Yeah. Palace. Did you see Palace's tweet, by the way, after the West Ham result? Hilarious.
Oh, what's going on? Everyone, thank you very, very much for your support. This will be available as an audio only in the morning. So if available on all good podcast providers. If you haven't yet on YouTube, make sure you drop us a like and subscribe. Massively appreciate your support. A couple of interviews dropping this week. The Fallout Bar returns as well. So plenty going on for us. But I've been Phil Bars, Jack Garwood and Jonathan Eaton joined us again, popping back in and again, wishing the Simpsons all the love in the world. And I'm glad that Anna is on the mend. And we'll see you all next week, everyone. Bye. Bye.